You know what's crazy? Most experts on YouTube tell you that you're going to make 6 figures in your first few months. That's not going to happen. Let's just cut to the case. Let me show you what you need to do in 2025. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be like a lot of new e-commerce owners. I don't want you to listen to all the crap that you actually listen to on YouTube. A lot of it is absolute BS. They're only doing it to sell you some sort of course. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you exactly the way things are. And you know what? It actually breaks my heart when I see this happen day after day, when I open up YouTube and I see a lot of these so-called gurus telling you exactly what you need to do to make millions a year. I'm not saying that you can't do it eventually, but to be honest with you, as a new e-com owner, it's going to take time. It's a real business and you need to use real business skills in order to actually start and get it to scale. As simple as that. And you know what? I think that's why a lot of new e-commerce owners fail, because they set their expectations so damn high that they don't realize that they're setting themselves up to fail, and most of them actually quit in the end. And it's heartbreaking to me, I ain't gonna lie to you. But let me tell you the actual truth. Most new Shopify owners, successful ones at that, they don't actually concentrate on getting too many sales. They actually learn in how to actually run their business properly. Instead of focusing so much on sales and getting loads of sales in and spending loads on ads, sometimes it's better just to start very, very slow and just build up very slowly and scale very slowly. And it's actually about learning your craft rather than getting in loads of sales right at the very beginning. And just so there's no doubt, I've helped several e-commerce stores start and scale their business from scratch. So hopefully I know what I'm talking about. It isn't about trying to get loads of sales. It is literally about learning your craft and doing things the right way. And you know, the weird thing is most of the successful stores have followed the same pattern. They've all done the same thing. And that's hopefully what I'm going to try and instill into you in this video. So look guys, before you concentrate on sales, before you even get to that point, so stop guys, before you concentrate on sales, let me tell you something that's really critical to your business now. Okay, this is how it works. So if you're ready for this, grab a pen, grab a paper, or bookmark this YouTube video, save it, do whatever you want, put it into a playlist, whatever you want. What I'm going to tell you is the truth, and this is what's going to make you successful if you follow what I'm going to say. It's very, very simple. It's not very complicated, but what I'm going to tell you now is how the vast majority, I'd say 85 to 90% of successful e-commerce stores, this is what they've done in order to be successful. So please follow this. Now, in your first month of running your e-commerce store, yes, you want to get sales. I'm not saying that obviously, of course you do. You need to actually earn some money. You need to actually start paying the bills. Of course you do. But what I will say, and this bit's really, really important, is you're actually focusing on your craft, but you're actually focusing on actually collecting data. All right. So even though you're actually making sales, what you're doing as well in the background is actually collecting data on what your customers are buying, what they're not buying, if they're actually being sold any upsells, what they're purchasing on the upsells. This first month is literally just you collecting data. All right. Whether you make 10 sales or if you make 100 sales, it really doesn't matter. The first month is so important because that is the data collection month. This is where you actually see what's working with your store, what's not working on your store. You're seeing the click patterns. You're seeing what your customer is actually clicking on. You're seeing how long they actually stay on a page, if you've got the right apps on your store. It's literally just collecting data, because once you've got that data, it's going to really help you in the second and the third month. And this is what you're doing, guys. You're building a foundation. So you're actually seeing, because you don't know this at the moment, you're basically seeing what products work and what products don't work. You're not going to know everything in the first month. You're really not. But on this first month, this one's really important, because when you start tweaking things, when you start playing with the titles, when you start playing with descriptions, when you start uploading images, when you start producing videos, at some point after the first month, you're going to start seeing what works and what doesn't work. And I'll tell you a little secret that no one's going to tell you. And a lot of the gurus won't tell you this either. A lot of the large stores that are doing a lot of money are making a lot of mistakes. They're paying too much for their advertising, and they haven't done what I've just told you. They haven't looked at the figures of the first month, the second month, the third month. They haven't gathered all that intel, and that's why they're losing money. They might look like they're making a lot of money because you can see the graph with all the sales figures, but what you don't see is the back end where they're actually losing money. Now, month 2 is really, really important, because you're going to start seeing behaviors, certain behaviors of your customer. I just did a video before this one about talking about avatars. Okay, I'll link it in the description about that. What's really important is you're going to start noticing behaviors of your actual customer, and once you actually understand what they're doing on your store, how long they're staying on there, like I said, what they're clicking on, the sort of videos they like watching, the sort of images they're clicking on. You can then start tailoring your store based on that behavioral data. And this is where the beauty happens, guys. As you start tweaking, as you start making things better, as you start talking directly to your customer and actually talking their language in the way that they actually speak, you'll actually start seeing your conversion rates go a lot higher. And that second month is when you start seeing sales grow. But you need the data from the first month in order to help you on the second. And the beauty about the second month is you start seeing what's working really well and you start doubling down on that. So all the things that aren't doing well, you basically cast aside, but all the things that are doing well, you start doubling down and start doing more of that. By month three is really special because all of the hard work that you put in at the very beginning, all of the hard work that you're putting into in month 2, you can start tweaking and start really seeing what works in month 3. This is when you're not actually putting your finger in the air to just try and see which way the wind's blowing. You know now, based on the 2 months of stats, behavioral data, and looking to see what people are actually purchasing and what they're not purchasing. In month 3, you can start making data analysis decisions. And this is what's separating you from the rest of the crowd. You can start looking at cost per acquisition. You can start looking at average order value. Even more important than those 2 metrics that I've just given you, you can start looking at the customer lifetime value. All right. I won't go too deep into it in this video. I'll try and do that in another video, but your customer lifetime value is really important. The reason why it's so important is if you've got a customer that's purchasing from you several times a year, you can then start calculating how much they're spending with you, and that will let you know how much you can actually spend on the front end. So how much to actually acquire that customer, because you know how much they're going to spend roughly during the course of the year and over several years. You can then start calculating how much you can actually spend on that front end. And I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to see explosive growth here, guys. What you're going to see is a graph that basically just goes like that. So it's very, very, very slow, and that's exactly how you want it, because what you don't want is explosive growth at the very beginning. I know that's probably everyone's dream, to have loads of sales in the first few months, but to be honest with you, a lot of stores crash and burn that way because they get so many sales in, they don't know how to actually run their store, they don't even know where their customers came from or how much they can actually spend on advertising. By doing things the right way for those first 3 months is the only way you're going to win for the rest of the time that you got your business. Now, a lot of gurus are going to tell you that's way too slow and that you should really look for explosive growth. I'm telling you now, you want to scale very slowly and get things right. Start knowing how to run your business, start knowing how to do the accounts, start knowing how to do the admin, treating customers the right way. Once you actually start honing those skills and perfecting them over those first few months, it's really going to serve you well for the rest of the year. And now I'm going to tell you something that's really important. I've saved this till the very end because I think it's really important. I don't want you to lose scope of what we're doing here in this video. What's really important is you treat it like a real business. This isn't a passive income, guys. This isn't something you just do, willy-nilly, or you just feel like doing it in the evening and then you do something else. This is a real business. You need to treat it like a real business. And like I said to you before, if you ask any successful business, if you ask any successful e-commerce store how they started, they'll tell you that they started slowly. I'm not saying they didn't make mistakes, and I'm not saying that you're not going to make mistakes. Of course you are. We all make mistakes. But what I'm saying is, while you're scaling slowly, it gives you time to make those mistakes, and they're not that costly. Can you imagine, really scaling really, really hard in those first few months and then making those mistakes? You're going to lose a lot of money, guys. So I want you to put a comment down below this video. Where do you think you're going to be in the next 3 months? Even if you've just started, it doesn't matter, and you started making a few sales, that's great if you have. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 months? Put that in the comment below. I'd really like to hear what you've got to say. And guys, if you want more support, if you want more of a framework of what I'm talking about in this video, you really need to join my free school community. It's called the Ecom Network. Hey there, e-commerce entrepreneurs. Are you looking to level up your online store with AI and automation? Then you need to join our free community on school.com. The Ecom Network is your go-to hub for cutting-edge AI strategies, time-saving automation tips, exclusive live Q&As, and a supportive network of fellow store owners. And best of all, it's completely free to join. So head on over to the Ecom Network on School and click the join group to get started. Let's grow together in the Ecom Network. And guys, if you like this video, you're going to love my next video. It's actually telling you or showing you why people quit this business, and I'm going to try and hopefully persuade you not to quit. If you're actually on the verge of quitting, you're going to find this video really helpful. All right, guys? So my name's Des from the Ecom Corner, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video.